Hello, I'm Natalie Kunsman, MD, and today we are talking about finding your why. Why am I here? This topic is near and dear to my heart because I made a big life change about a year ago, but it was stirring for a few years prior. So this topic is figuring out, why are you here? What is your purpose? What makes you lose track of time? What would make you move heaven and earth to do? What makes you tick? Who are your people? Are you doing everything you set out to do? Why is the world a better place with you in it? If you knew you were going to die in a few months, what would you do? And how would you want to be remembered? And these are very big questions, and there are reasons why we need to ask them. If we circle back to the topic of the blue zones, which is one of my favorite topics, those healthy 5 centers of the world that brag of their longevity, such as people who are over 100 years old, one of their key traits is that their citizens have a sense of purpose and a reason to get up every day. And some of these purposes can be big or small, such as being a good friend, or helping, or improving your community, looking after a family, or just simply experiencing all that the world has to offer. Having a purpose makes us healthier. And people who have this sense of purpose and why they are here on the planet have less sleep problems, less heart attacks, and they die less prematurely. And one exact opposite of this topic is the concept of dying of a broken heart when you feel as though there is no longer any purpose. There are major areas research connecting meaning of life and health. And for instance, simply, one thing is we have better coping strategies when we are faced with an obstacle if we know our sense of purpose. We have a tendency to nurture ourselves spiritually and emotionally and physically when we are pursuing our life purpose. Having meaning and purpose helps us deal with stress better, and as I discussed in our anxiety lecture, perception makes a whole difference in how one person may have anxiety over a situation and someone is calm. So, the University of Colorado in Denver showed a study where they measured the sense of meaning and those people had a tendency to exercise more when they had a sense of purpose in life. Now, as older folks progressed, those who had a higher sense of purpose took more action steps with their health, including screenings for blood work, mammography, and prostate exams, for instance. And of course, me being in primary care, this is important to me, and this is information that I need to share, and I do share with my patients. In many people, the psychological and spiritual benefits for those who have found purpose in life, they just had more fun. People gain more focus and truly get into what matters to them. If we have a sense of purpose and if we've found our why, we may become more passionate and feel invincible and really feel as though there is a sense of true life fulfillment. Many times there is a realization that there is a bigger universe, God, spiritual awakening, or feeling a part of a bigger force. Much of the world starts to open up around you and help with your endeavors and commitment to that purposeful life, and it will lead you to people and make you feel more fortunate and grateful to the world at large for helping you. There is a big energy flow to allow things to happen for you in your pursuit. And of course, those who have a sense of purpose have more humor. Those with purpose are typically more financially stable, and that may actually look different in different ways. I have to give credit for Jack Canfield, who clearly spells out ways to figure out your why. So purpose is not synonymous with your occupation or the work you do, although it may be for some. Here are some signs that you haven't figured out your life's purpose, and I found a lot of these lists in Psychology Today. So, if you haven't found your life purpose, you are not waking up excited anymore. You are having a lot more of what you might describe as low days. Your life just doesn't seem to fulfill you, as though you were just going through the motions day to day. You are not surrounding yourself by uplifting people, but rather those who bring you down. You're also not feeling your life purpose or the why if you're scared to move forward, and then that keeps you from achieving your goals and your dreams. If your job depletes you of energy, you haven't found your why. You feel stuck. Now, I had every one of these, but yet, if I analyzed each component piece of my life, it was just fine. But fine felt dead inside, unexciting, passionless, and going nowhere. So I would ask you to remember times when you were truly happy and what you were doing then. Follow your inner guidance, and it is there. Listen to it. Make a life purpose statement. Simply write it down. Do what you love to do. Do what comes easily to you, because there may be a reason why it comes easily to you. Be able to walk away from what you know, and that will be one huge step to just feeling alive. Don't worry about if or when somebody is going to validate your intentions or your moves. Now, I'm going to bring this to some studies about the brain. When it comes to protecting the brain, an engagement in lifelong learning and curiosity seems to help protect the brain from declining over time. And I will definitely see this in my elderly patients for those who remain in meaningful pursuits versus those who retire, stay home, and disengage from life. So, staying in the game, for lack of a better word, will actually prevent those plaques and tangles from building up, which is something we discussed when we were talking about brain health and some of the key factors and findings that we found in, for instance, the Alzheimer's brain, which is the prototypical aged brain. So we prevent some of these plaques and tangles when we are continually learning new things. Now, Rush University, which is a medical center in Chicago, wanted to know if truly having a purpose in life was associated with a reduced risk in Alzheimer's disease. So what they did is they took about 900 elderly patients with a very standardized questionnaire, and they found very similar benefits when talking to these patients. So the health advantages of pursuing goals and having a life purpose included the obvious things, such as better mental health, less depression, a sensation of having overall happiness, a feeling of satisfaction, and a sense of personal growth and self-acceptance, and better sleep. But we have to hear this one out. Persons who had a high purpose in life had reduced Alzheimer's disease, so we must listen to this. Those patients experience much less cognitive impairment and showed slower rates of cognitive decline in the elderly years. And in other words, having an overarching goal or a purpose will protect the brain, and it can be measured down at the neuronal level. And more importantly, by having that higher purpose, you are adding more cognitive reserve. So, with that being said, find your purpose, find the things that make you tick, and surround yourself with your tribe. Share this to everyone who needs to hear this. I would ask that you subscribe to my channel below. And with all that, until we meet again, be well.